Alright, guys. Classic in the top right side of the map here, going for a gas first against onside Maru in the bottom left. And this is a TVP. This is going to be a match for Maestros 2, guys, the big upcoming tournament over in France. The group stage being played online here. Maru against Classic. A matchup that has led to one of the most epic nukes I've ever seen, where Classic got a late game Skytoss army. Was it Tokamak? I think it might have been Tokamak, that map where he just got absolutely blasted by a massive nuke. Classic didn't notice it. Lost his entire Carrier Tempest mothership fleet to a direct hit from a nuke. But hopefully that's far in the past here for Classic, as he opens up with the greediest build he can think of. I do think if you're going to do no scout, you should always go Nexus before Cybercore, as it just feels like that's where you get the most benefit off of that greedy start. And indeed, look at that beautiful timing. A minute 21 on the Nexus. And of course, you can throw the Cybercore in the main after just a moment. It's going to wall off behind the gas in case a Reaper jumps in. It won't be able to rotate. Nice little semi-block there. Interestingly, the probe goes back to the natural, though, for another trip, which normally you wouldn't bother doing. I guess he wants to build the pylon down here. Yeah, he does. I don't know. I'm always a big fan of delaying the pylon on the natural, because I'm a bit of a weirdo, but especially if you're not scouting, you do almost always want to build a blind shield battery. This could be 2-gas Reaper Hellion. Of course, it's not. This is no second gas. It's a 1-Rex expand with an SCV scout for Maru, so a macro game, most likely the follow-up here for both sides, as they realize, oh, you're playing defensive? I'm playing defensive too! And a Reaper will go across the map, figure out what's happening. Factory will begin here. Starport can build after that, and of course create that wall off so a siege tank behind can defend any future blink aggression. Maru and Classic have traded series in the past, with Maru coming out on top on average against pretty much everyone. Reaper sees the Twilight Council. It's going to go into the main. The probes are about to transfer. They pull back for a moment and of course move down there, guarded by the Adept as it escorts them to the natural. Adept chases the Reaper away. Got the reactor on the way there. Factory coming up. Reaper dancing backwards. Probes are building right now. Stalker as well. Adept going after the Reaper. It's not quite able to get him. Not just yet. 2 Marines coming forward. Bit of an ambush on the ledge could work, but I think Classic should be shading to get vision. And yeah, he sees the Marines there waiting for him. The Marines and the Reaper will track the shade back, so of course he won't let it finish. And with Blink now started at home, a second gateway should have begun. You don't want that any later than about 3 minutes 10. He's going to create a bit of a wall-off here. I'm always iffy about these wall-offs, man. Like, I get it. They defend Hellion play nicely if it's Reactor Hellion, but, like, I don't know. It just always feels like there's a lot of situations where that wall-off works against you later on. We'll see how Classic handles it. Stalker Adept coming forwards, but that's quite a few units now. I don't know if committing up that ramp would be the right idea. Of course, letting your shields regenerate, as they do regenerate so fast, could pay off for Classic, and cool to see him being so active. I normally think of Classic as such a defensive player, to the point where it really did become a detriment. So many players started playing super greedy against him, knowing he was just going to sit back and play defensive. And even just a little bit of poking early on can be very nice. The Hellion and the Reaper go to the left, the Stalkers see them coming. He can either go around and keep attacking it, or could try and... I would have liked him to hide that probe. He's actually going to go to the right side, maybe expand there. I like the Widow Mine reposition. Maru's been so cute. And here we go. Classic comes in, tries to bait the Widow Mine there, but Maru quickly unburrows, picks it up, boosts across the map. Stalkers will clean up the Hellion and Reaper, though. Classic very well prepared. These 2 Stalkers managed to take out an SCV and a Marine. Not too bad. Can he get one more? Only if he's willing to sacrifice that Adept. He's going to use the Shade trick again. He wants to get the shot to fire and then have his Shade finish as it's mid-animation. But Classic was a bit too busy going home to macro. Looked back at the front, realized he'd mistimed it. Cancels the Shade and doesn't overcommit. Ooh, nice shutdown, as long as he does actually target that, and indeed he does. Now, he could sacrifice a probe here, or wait for the Observer. He's got an Observer above the natural. These guys are there. He can just use Blink as well, of course. There's only one target. Maru can't retarget to try and make that fire again. And Classic, so far, I always say Classic's not the fastest player, but I don't know, man. He's kind of out multitasking Maru here. He's had a perfect early game. He's killed 7 units, and this is looking incredible. Adept Stalker goes into the main base. The SCV's taking a bit of damage. 4 SCVs in total, not bad. Doesn't really cost you anything either, and you've got Robobay, Forge, third base getting saturated, 3 more gateways, charge on the way, redrops again. Maru not waiting on the edge, kind of sloppy, man, not gonna lie. Loses another SCV and Mule, that's really costly, dude. That Prism has plenty of dead space down here it can go along and hide in. Maru's gonna drop a third CC, go for double eBay, but with the Prism seeing that third command center, you're well aware, like you know Maru is gonna try and just go to the late game. So you probably want to, as Classic, get a 4th up and push hard as you're starting to saturate that 4th. Go for like a 3 Colossus timing attack. I think an Archon attack usually times out really well against double Engineering Bay because they rarely get ghosts in time, or at least they don't have enough ghosts to EMP the Archon. So 2 or 3 Colossus, get a Warp Prism, morph Archons on the front, and then you just A-move. That's the most common win condition you find in these sorts of games. Oh my gosh. 15 hit points, guys. I feel like that Prism could have been further south. Am I crazy for thinking he could have actually had that in a safer position when recalling? I'm not sure. Anyway, next Colossus is not queued up right now. He's got to fix that. It's so important to keep these Colossus pumping out. How many gateways is this? It's going to be 8 gateways. Oof. Already full production 3 base. 4 gases. I mean, Classic might not even bother probing the 4th. He might just drop a Templar Archives now and go. And honestly, I think he should go. Like, the moment Maru moves out to take a 3rd, I think you already want to be on the map in position to kill him. Got a little Zealot Adept drop. Not a very good army. And the Prism will shut this down. Or the Viking, sorry, will shut the Prism down. At least he unloads the ground units, gets them out. The Prism does fall. Zealot's there, Marine's there. Looks like the Marine spots the Zealot and then says, okay, let's just stim in and see what I can see. He wants to see the army comp, does Maru. See some Zealots running over there, and there we go. Now he knows it's Colossus. It's the most important thing for Maru to find out as he floats his 3rd over to the right side. Templar Archives and 2nd Forge coming in now. So 2-1 upgrades could start. I feel like it's not a bad idea to just full send. That being said, this Prism is kind of late. I think Classic could have had a 3rd Colossus out around this time if he'd been actively chronoing and not missing any production. And the fact that he doesn't actually have a Warp Prism with the army, he's just sending it for a drop, makes me think he's being a little more tentative than he needs to. Off of such a perfect early game, I feel like he really should be looking to just punch through the front, overwhelm, break these tanks when they don't have much support. You can get in there before if he gets an anti-armor missile, it's harder to break. If he gets this wall off on the right, it's much harder to get Zealots around, though. I don't think that's closed on the north side. You really want to make sure it's completely sealed, because Charge Zealots will squeeze through pretty much anything. Oh! Siege Tank just friggin' derps its way up there. Classic saving as many of the Stalkers as he can. Very well played. Look at this move, man. Gets himself a tank there, catches Maru out of position. Maru does not have that much Marine Marauder. He's got +2 weapons starting now. Doesn't have +2 armor just yet. More gateways, a 5th Nexus on the way. Like, I love that Classic's ahead. I guess I just feel like he maybe could have pressed a little harder. But instead, he's chipping away. And he's trying to find the openings whilst Maru is trying to build that impregnable fortress. I think that's a solid wall off there. I'm still not sure about this north side. You always want to try and have your tanks completely sealed behind wall-offs, because if Zealots get on top of them, they'll die very fast. Classic's got 2-1 upgrades. He's been really active on his chronos. He's also morphing Archons now as well. As we said, it's really hard to get Ghosts out in time for an Archon timing. And Zealot Archon do not care about Siege Tank fire. The Liberators, there's only 2 of those. There's a few Vikings. You can see 4th Command Center is building. Ghost Academy now coming in. Is Classic wasting too much time? I've seen Classic really struggle in late game against Maru, historically. And I've seen him bullying Maru in the early game, get way ahead, and then lose from massive leads multiple times. Now, don't get me wrong, that's Maru. He's done this to everyone in the world. Maru has made comebacks against the very best players in the world so many times. But it does feel to me like Classic, I wouldn't say afraid is the right word, but more just a bit too careful. I'd like to see him a little more assertive. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh. That's an observer there. Pylon blocking this base from getting landed. 5 bases mining for Classic. He's got a 6th base on the right side. No sign of Storm, Dark Templar, or Tempests just yet. More Stalkers, in fact, warping in. As the buildings come up, it becomes harder and harder to attack into. I think at this point, you have to wait for the 4th to go down now. Now that Maru's maxed, he's got his +2 bio weapons. He's got tanks, Vikings, libs, bio spread everywhere. I don't think you can go in here. Oh, nice Widowmine retarget on the Archon. Get some good splash damage on that army. I do think Maru probably might need a few more turrets as well, like 2 turrets down here. Maybe another turret here and another turret here to make sure prisms can't get in. Speak of the devil, the Marines are ready for it. Maru's very aware of the threat of the prism rotating in. A lot of these tanks caught unsieged. One command center will get targeted down, as will a Viking. Classic just shaving off the edges right now. No transition for Classic. Classic has 5 gases. It's correct to stay low gas, but at this point, I would like Classic to drop 2 more gases. Whoa, Maru's going to move forward. He gets caught on the move forward. Maru, a little bit overeager right now. He's getting jumped on. Oh, this is a big mistake for Maru. Gives Classic the fight he was looking for. Just gets a bit too antsy. That command center is an easy click. If those Stalkers click on that command center, that is so worthwhile. You're so rich as Classic. Maru loses an incredibly valuable command center. Ooh. So guys, the family's gone out. They've left the nephew with me, sleeping in the other room with the baby monitor next to me. It's meant to just like light up and turn on and like play loud noise if he starts crying, right guys? Guys in the chat, let me know. I've never used a baby monitor before and I realized I probably should have asked this before they left me. I'm just like, don't wake up from me shouting about StarCraft, please. Keep sleeping. Keep sleeping, 2-year-old in the other room. We may have to pause the commentary at some point if he does wake up. Zealot Archon Colossus rotating to the right. Ooh, okay. Fire rotating around. Tanks, libs, Vikings trying to siege up this area. Oh, careful, careful, careful. Gotta be careful going near these Colossus, man. Still a very Zealot-heavy army. Nice expendable units that you don't mind throwing away as Classic. It's tank in the back, adding some really good ranged firepower, but it doesn't do much against the Zealots. It's so much more impactful when it's hitting Stalkers, Colossus, Sentries, Immortals. I know Sentries aren't armored units, but they're just fragile enough that 40 damage is worth a lot more on them than it is on a Zealot. +3 ground armor plasma shields on the way as well. No evolution of the style for Classic. Still 5 gases. No Dark Shrine, no Storm, no Tempests. Classic says as long as you don't get a 4th, all I need is to keep swarming. And he's correct. 23 gateways, like he can remax with 46 supply of Zealots during a battle. I mean, that's insane. That's actually crazy. That's like more than a third of the player's current army supply. Nexus on the right, Nexus on the left as well. Fusion core started up, +1 air weapons. We've got some plasma shields coming in, level 2. Anti-armor missile on the right side. Oh, Colossus snipe. Nice move for Maru. Distracts with the Raven and the Vikings snag a Colossus. That first move down this ramp was just too eager for Maru though. Look, he's got 11 ghosts up now. Remember, these are the live version 125 hit point ghosts. Only Colossus really can kill them for Protoss. Protoss don't have a lot of bonus to light. Oh, he's going to try and push him back. Maru. Is he losing patience or is he making the game-winning decisive move? I feel like he's losing patience and yet he crushes that army. Loses a bunch of bio, but I feel like that's a pretty damn efficient trade, man. He's now 5,000 resources ahead and the units lost, of course. Stalkers, Zealots, remaxing. Only 2 robos. This is the other thing. When you got this much bank, not having 2 more gases mining yet, which I guess he will put these on in a moment, and like a 4 robos. And imagine a Dark Shrine would be nice as well. Blinking up into the main with DTs would be so cool. Zealots coming in on the left side. Will they be able to get anything? They're going to take out a Marauder, a Siege Tank. Oh, a couple Marauders and Siege Tanks. High value kills there. Not bad, not bad. And you're very happy to take these trades as Classic. Getting a few SCVs here. He's clicking the command center. No way can he kill that command center. He's Warping in more Zealots and Stalkers on the left. Maru's trying to take 2 bases at once. I think that's more than he should be. He's biting off more than he can chew. That's a really, really dangerous move for Maru. I always call this the Maru mistake. Trying to do a bit too much. It's what gets him in trouble in TVZ a lot of the time. And you see now, even though he could defend the 2 middle bases, he couldn't defend the right at the same time. And that's what's going to come back to bite him here. Because that right side, look at this, Medivacs now in disarray. Ghosts coming into the open. The Colossus starting to roast a few of these Ghosts. Oh, Maru barely gets them out of there. Well done, well done. Does clear this gateway on this side, but there's more Zealot Stalker that are going to keep swarming in from there. Another Orbital gets taken out. There was no need to take a 5th base. A 4th base alone was good enough with how efficient he was being. Remember, with Terran late game, it's not about having a competitive economy. It's about being so efficient by just really fighting in one place at once. The Ghosts are running forward, but a lot of them are dying, and every Ghost you kill is worth its weight in gold. This is so nice for Classic. Yeah, he loses his Colossus, but at the same time, gets the command center on the left. Maru, I know he wasn't in a good spot, but taking that base on the left, it's objectively a mistake. There's a lot of people, they always argue with me. It's like, what? He can't be down 2 bases. I'm like, mate, he was already down 4 bases for the last 5 minutes, and he was crushing the engagements, which was how he was going to win. The moment you spread out to 3 exposed bases, suddenly, Classic, who's just been waiting for his moment all game long, has easy attack angles to trade. And every time you move to defend one side, he pulls back there and pushes in on the other side. It's an impossible thing to defend. Don't get me wrong, Classic was way ahead for a long time in that game. But this base on the left, absolutely 100% sure that that was a bad strategic error. If he could have just held on to the middle and centralized his army in this kind of area, much easier to defend because he can so easily react to where he's needed to. The moment you take that base, it's just too far out. You can't split your army into 3 pieces. Really nice game for Classic, though. Very patient. Massive 23-gate Zealot reinforcers were absolutely well done. And he just bullies Maru out of game 1. All right, guys, going into game 2. Classic at the bottom right side of the map. Maru in the top left. And Maru going to be proxying to start game 2. Got overwhelmed there. Two mistakes for Maru in that game. And the reason we talk about this in terms of Maru's mistakes is because he had to play perfect from the position he was in to drag himself back in the game. Oh, Maru not hiding his SCV. Gets scouted. He's just going to have to build a barracks at home now while maybe trying to build an engineering bay or something to block. But I imagine just scout around the main. Maybe try and block the Nexus in a little bit. Maru historically has a way of working his way to winning in these situations. He has a way of finding a way to turn his proxy getting scouted or shut down to his advantage. I think it's just because it makes the game a little bit different and a little bit weirder, and Maru's adaptability is some of the best in the world. If you guys are watching live, we've got some questions about my background on my live stream. If you guys type !background, you can see the portfolio of the artist. I commissioned that off probably 8 years ago. Oh, he does get the engineering bay down. Oh, nicely done. I like how he waited. He made it look like he was going home. He does lose the SCV for it. Classic just goes Cybercore before Nexus. I mean, he builds the pylon before the Nexus. It doesn't really change too much, right? eBay gets cancelled. You put your Nexus down. It's 10 seconds late from what a core first Nexus would be. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I love that background. It's really cool. I saw it. For those who haven't seen it, essentially we got the Cantina from the Wings of Liberty campaign made up in a animated pixel art. She'd already made one of Diva's bedroom where she's like playing StarCraft, and there's like a whole bunch of cool like Blizzard stuff around and stuff. Yeah, that was just a really cool pixel art. So I was like, oh, this would be so awesome to have a full StarCraft themed one of these. She put a lot of love into it, a lot of effort into it, so it's really nice. Twilight Council goes up on the natural. Stalkers are on the way as well. Probe moves out to the right. Adept to the left. Very defensive for Maru, isn't it? Not really believing in the Reaper. And I think, I don't know why Reaper just feels bad on this map, but I guess it's just because this ledge is so easy to wall off and the front of the base is so far away from getting in to see anything that I kind of want to hide it. Hides the Hellion. Maru doesn't want to give any information away. Command Center is now morphing into an orbital. Think about moving out here and engaging the Hellion. Wants to deny its shields, maybe. Oh, no, he just wants to go scout. Keep in mind, guys, Maru, he did scout early, but he hasn't seen anything since then, so the Hellion's his only real map presence, and it is fast enough to outdistance that shade. Sees no third on the left side. That's the first thing he wanted to check, is do you have an insanely fast third? He's going to quickly race away from there. Marines are building medevac as well. Widow mines also. Marines on the high ground. With the ledge. Should be able to defend this. Oh, good damage on the Adept. Hey, well worth trading a Marine to clear out that big Protoss unit. Not that it's big for later in the game, but compared to a single Terran unit, that's always quite impactful. Widow mines are going to have to be used to defend here. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of damage on the medevac. Oof. Well, got to pull the medevac back to repair now. Oh, he's not going to. Maru wants to continue forwards. Well, he says, hey, if you really want to do that, I will pull home to defend. Hellion. Oh, he's going to target the probe. Always feels good. Always feels good to deny that probe that comes out to take the third. Classic has to send a new one. Delays the third. Good 20 seconds or so. Nice Stalker warp in. Very well done. Blocks the wall off there. It is, of course, I think this is 3-gate, right? Yeah, 3-gate blink. Robo. 4th gas on the way. 3rd Nexus very late. Classic needs to hurry up on this. It's already been delayed. About 30 seconds now. And that is going to be an incredibly quick 3rd command center. Maru trying to drag this to late game. 10,000 feet's a good map for Terran late game. Charge coming in. So early as well. Wow. It's going to be a Storm charge opening. Interesting. Single mine drop finally moving across after the repair. All right, engineering bay is going to go down here as well. Raven will sneak out down the right side behind this Widow mine drop. That fast 3rd command center is so interesting. It's so quick. Do you guys think he just keeps building tanks all game again? Well, there's our answer. No, yes, maybe. He lifts it. He thinks about just building one. He decides against it. Widow mine drop's going to rotate. The observer does see it, of course. And classic. So much production coming down. Artosis pylon here. Good thing is, if a bio army ever does come in here, they're not going to get to your probes quickly. They've got to tear some chunky buildings down to get there. Ooh, Widowmine takes out a Stalker. Not bad. Stalker with Blink, though, can hunt it down. Wait, was that the medevac that he caught? Did he just catch the medevac? Surely not. No, the medevac did get home. Raven goes into the main base. We'll grab a little bit of damage there. I always feel like if you're going to pull probes away, you might as well pull the gas ones as well. Yeah. 5 workers do go down there. Oh, Widowmine gets another Stalker while Classic's distracted. That's awkward. And look at this, guys. The factory lifts off and he ends up building a 4th barracks on that now. 4th and 5th barracks go down. Still all on 1 engineering base. So even though it's a quicker 3rd command center, this is not like an Omega Turtle style. You can tell when Maru is just locking down for the late game, when he's building tanks non-stop, going double upgrades. But in this time, he doesn't want to get stuck in that same ultra defensive, just totally, defensive position from the last game. So he's instead going to go single eBay, get a faster Ghost Academy to deal with the Archons and the Zealots. And this is a pretty quick Storm drop. I don't think you've got Storm energy just yet, though, do you? Unless he already had the High Templar in there. Maybe he did. Yeah, drop the Zealots first, and then wait for him to pull, and then you can drop them. Yeah, the Storm. Oh, it's a classic. Oh, there's another one. Oh my god, that was so sick. This is always the trick. You make sure you unload the Zealots first, and when he pulls the SCVs, that's when you do the Storms. That's a sick move. I love that move, man. It's so rare, so it just works so well, because normally it's either a Storm drop or a Zealot drop, and normally it's a Zealot drop like 9 times out of 10. So you see Zealots unload, and immediately you're in the mindset of there's 4 zealots. There's like 2 to 4 zealots in that warp prism. It's never anything else. Catches you completely off guard. Does build 3 tanks. Ghost starting to come out. +1 armor hasn't made yet. There we go. Does start that one up. Maru, of course, mining off 3 bases, but Classic still, I would say, in a pretty damn solid spot. Getting the 4th base up. He's on 5 gases. And will he go for Colossus now? Because so far it's just Immortal Zealot Arc on Storm. Could still hit a pretty brutal timing with it. And notice Maru has a double drop on a separate control group here. So he can stim that in his main to defend a prism, or he can bring it to the front. Of course, we can see the waypoint from the SCV there. Second engineering bay goes down. Oh, okay. EMP and turret do manage to defend that very well. Only a mule and 2 SCVs going down. Warp prism has to back away. Robo bay is coming in now, as is plasma shields. That's got to be a mistake. There's no way plasma shields is the right upgrade here, guys. There's no way, right? Then again, he's building a Stargate and air weapons. Oh, okay, maybe it is. Classic's gonna probably play carriers here. Okay, why not? I think he says, look, Maru's gonna turtle. Let's pivot. Let's immediately go 5 base carrier. I love this choice. I think carriers is good if you can surprise your opponent with a big old wave of them, you know? Second eBay Armory. Still no turrets on the edges of just one here. This is the most annoying drop angle where they can drop your natural and go into the main at the same time. Vikings are on the left as well. Ooh, another storm drop comes in. But he gets the prism this time. And doesn't lose too many units. A couple of Marines, not really losing any SCVs. Ooh, I don't like the Stargates on the front. I hate that move. Just because it's so easy to get them denied and or scouted. But yeah, if he can basically get +2 air weapons and then make like 8 carriers and surprise Maru with them, he could do some very good stuff with that. What's the worker kill count? It was 17 in the first storm drop, 21 total, so only 4 other than the first storm drop, which was so good. Maru's got +2 attack on the way. He's building a 5th command center. 4th one's floating out. Raven's in vision of the observer, so he'll take care of that. It just feels like that there's not much vision for Terran in these sorts of games. Always feels very awkward. Oh, Zealots will take some nasty Widow Mines if you're not careful. Classic is careful, though. He pulls back. Takes out a few of these Widow Mines. Zealots don't care too much about a few tank shots. And it's Tempests, in fact. Okay, 4 Stargate Tempests to break the siege. Ooh, I mean, with Storm. Oh my god, he's doing my strat! He's doing my strat! Guys! We've been on this patch for 9 months! I've been screaming for this as the counter to Turtle Terran for 9 months into my microphone! Classic! The first guy to do it. Hero tried it once and did it terribly on Celestial Enclave. One of the worst executions I've ever seen. If you mass cannon bat, and this map's always been perfect for it because this base is so exposed. Like, this map has always been the no-brainer for it. Mass cannon battery, spread High Templar around, siege them with cannon battery storm. Amazing way to punish Turtle Terran. And look, he can come forward. He gets a few cannons. High Templar. He should have had a High Templar in front. Ready for that. Does lose a few cannons for free there, but you're maxed. Normally you float crazy amounts of minerals. There's 2 ways to spend your minerals in this matchup. Make 30 gateways of Zealots, or make cannons outside their base. And if you do it early enough when the Terran's still turtling up, they can't really answer this. Not very well. If you get a row of cannons up here, they do so much damage, they don't cost supply, and they detect cloaked ghosts, which is actually quite useful later on as well. In case your observers and oracles do get taken out. Tempest can chip away at this for a while. EMPs across the gap, pretty good micro, but over time, the Tempest should win this fight, especially if you've got an oracle. You want one oracle to revelate? Best micro here on these Tempests for a Classic. He's got to really be a little more careful with them, but he can keep rallying to the front. And even, I think any trade's usually a good trade for Protoss in these sorts of games. You can trade a little inefficiently, and it's like kind of okay. Mothership's there as well. Vikings coming forward. Does use his cloaking field with the Mothership. She can tank a lot of damage as well, and what a brilliant strat. Genius. Genius strategy. On this map, it's a no-brainer. This base sticks out like a sore thumb, man. Maru getting punished right now. The Mothership Cloak comes in there, guys. The Time Warp as well. The Tempest and the Mothership trying to bully back Maru. And you can kind of see just how interesting this situation is because Maru desperately needs to get his Viking count up, but he's already lost 6 Vikings. And as long as the Tempests keep on hitting, this is really good. You do want to creep the cannons forward, though, so you can keep pressing. And you want to try and deny this top right base, if possible. But because this army is very complicated now, Mothership takes a lot of supply. High Templar, Colossus, Immortals. Do you have a mobile enough army to deny that top right? That's what's going to be tough. Now, ooh, this is the classic. You always expect the Terran to go around the flanks when you play this style. So you have to quickly move to intercept. You got to leave some High Templar here, and you got to send enough army to deal with this. He does see the army coming there, so he knows it's coming. The question is, what do you do to deal with it? He's going to recall his army. What? Classic! You absolute man. Wait, what is he doing? What was that? What was that? Oh my god. Oh my god. That was that specifically to bait Maru into coming home, guys? I'm trying to process what I just witnessed. Anyone who's like listening to this just for radio and not watching at the screen, this is a crazy move, man. Oh, Mama's gonna get picked off. Vikings on the left doing well. Tempest's not fighting right now. Classic. He's not willing to split his army up to defend. He's got 16 gateways. He's got a lot of money. He's got to keep rebuilding High Templar right now. He's got a few at home. But look at this. Maru's going to try and clear up the forward position, it looks like. Oh, he's going to nuke it. Very cute. The Tempest can pick that off, though. Yeah, easy pick off for the Tempest and the Stalkers there. Ghost does get taken out. And this is so well played by Classic. Maru is going to have to dig deep to find anything he can do here. Keep in mind, there's no ground armor upgrades, which is still a very real problem. Any Zealots or Stalkers are way worse than they normally are, especially if they get EMP'd. And as cool as plasma shields are for the Tempest, like and for the buildings as well, you absolutely have to make armor upgrades as well on the ground. Classic though, he senses blood in the water, and he's gonna try and push forward. There's 7 High Templar, 3 more coming in from behind. It's all about zoning these Vikings. He takes out that building there, dude. The Tectonic Destabilizers, giving Tempest double damage against buildings is so massive. Such a big upgrade. Now the High Templar comes forward. Storm, storm, storm. If he can land a zoning storm, he'll be able to hold him off. The High Templar behind do not have storm energy yet, though. That was only 1 storm. I thought he'd have 3 more behind, but he doesn't. Nonetheless, he's killed all of Maru's command centers, or so many of them, right? He's killed a planetary. Actually, these other command centers survived. That one did not die. So he's only got, what, 1? Was only 1 planetary he killed? Really? Okay, I thought he killed more than that, but I guess they've just been lifting away Maru's top right. I don't think Classic knows about it. It's literally a free kill, and if he just kills that, Maru has, like, almost no mining, except this red hit point orbital that's burning on the left. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. Maru has 2 burning orbitals right now. A command center that the Classic just doesn't even know about in the top right. Great storm on the Ghosts. Really good storm. If you can catch this army, this is always the problem. People have always told me they'll just send their bio around and you'll lose. And I've always said if you control the center, you should be able to trap their bio on the map. But look at the way Maru rejoins his army. Maru was really quick to realize he was about to get caught there. But if they go and deny your corner and edge bases, they can get caught. And that's one of the big risks that they face. So it's very movement-based, but yeah, very interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, Maru's now in such an odd position. This army getting chased down. It's High Templar in front of him, High Templar behind, Tempest, Stalker, Colossus here. But you might get sandwiched as Classic if you're not careful. Great storms. Needs a storm here, storm here, storm here, storm here. He's a little late on these storms, guys. Gets a good storm there, though. Very nicely done. Picks away at the army. Of course, this is the new zoning storm, not the old storm. Kills one of his own units there so he can squeeze a mothership in. Probably just a Stalker. Low value unit. This command center mining, and this mining is crazy. Just a few Zealots or single DTs could do so much here. But he's going to sandwich himself. Classic goes way too deep here. He's going to get sandwiched. He knows that army's there. This is crazy. He's putting himself in a corner. Classic puts himself in a corner. Oh my lord! Maru dives and stomps him! Classic corners himself! Gets excited and throws his entire army into the meat grinder! Oh no! He's gonna swap carriers now! But he's only got +2, not +3 air weapons. And I've got to doubt that move. He still doesn't know about that planetary in the bottom right. Maru would be broke if it wasn't for that base. Maru getting away with murder. I don't know how he does it, guys. And yet he always does. He eats giant storms while distracted on the other side of the map. The Zealotite Templar's ruining him. He is somehow in a position, if he gets on top of these Robos and these Stargates before these units pop out, he might be able to win this game. If those 4 carriers pop, is that enough to save Classic here? 25 Marines, 9 Ghosts, a pack of Vikings. I don't know if it's enough, man. I don't know if it's enough. Artosis! The Artosis pile and the Colossus are popping out into the Viking Marauder. They're dying. The Zealots are killing Maru's economy on the other side, but Maru still has that planetary in the top right that Classic has just never found out about. He's going to pop out 4 carriers here with the Stalkers and the Zealots. Is it enough with some storms? Maybe? He gets a few decent storms, Morphs and Archon. But I don't know if that's enough, man. There's so many Marines and Ghosts in here. The Interceptors all get shot down. The Zealots find this base over here. Classic. He's got 5k minerals, 2k gas in the bank. But he's just lost all of his Robos and Stargates. He can only make Zealots and High Templar now, as well as the carriers remaking Interceptors. It still feels like he should win this game, though, doesn't it? It still feels like if he can ever deal with this, if he can just land 1 or 2 more storms on it, this army with carriers and stuff, surely eventually he's going to get on it. Another nuke attempt comes in here for Maru. High Templar from the side, but these storms, you know, they tickle in this sort of messy scenario. They tickle. And look at that. That nuke will be landing on the right side. Lib does get focused down. Nuke lands, takes out a few probes and a forge. Army intercepting the reinforcements. The forward cannon battery position is here. You can just see how effective Classic strategy was. It has forced Maru into a desperate situation. But Classic not checking the top right means Maru has several thousand more resources here than he should. And Classic is going, how the hell do you still have anything? I've been wearing you down with Tempest and Storm for so long. Classic! He's going to find the orbital on the left, which is a great snipe. Can he defend his main, though? He's going to try and land another storm. A brilliant storm! An Omega Storm! Lots of damage. Gets a few Marines. Damages a lot of the units. The problem is the Medivacs will eventually heal anything that doesn't die. So as much as that's good in the moment, long term, that doesn't really get you that much value. Another orbital goes down. He's finally going to find it. Dude, is he going to see all the minerals being mostly mined? He's going to be like, oh, there's a planetary here. When did this go up? Most of the minerals are gone, mate! Only these 2 mineral patches somehow didn't get mined, but everything else did. He finds this base. After all of that, that Widow Mine, is it going to kill all the Interceptors? Gets a few of them. But coming back, there's still 2 gate production. 3 Stargates have been rebuilt. Classic's out of supply, though. So Classic, he's trying to build more Colossus here. But he has to defend this position from this army. This is it. This is the moment. Maru's bringing his reinforce. He's going to have another Sanger coming in. Another big sandwich. 140 army supply of Terran. He needs another storm. Storm on the bottom, storm on the left. But is that going to be enough? He needs time just to get a few more units out. Does Classic. But he's not being given that time. Maru says, no way, Jose. Pushes through the time warp. The cannon battery's kind of helping on the side of this fight. But only on the side, and all of the rebuilt production getting taken out as well. Oh my lord. But Mothership's actually helping out a lot, as are the carriers. They may only have +2 against +3 armor, but Mothership and carriers doing pretty well. It's just if the interceptor count disappears, which he's down to only 6 interceptors. And that's where you're in real trouble. Remember, there's no Templar Archives, no more storms coming in here. What a clutch game this has been. Maru has a 34 army supply advantage. Twilight Council gets rebuilt. There's gateways here. I mean, he can just keep rebuilding Zealots, I guess. Classic. If he had a Templar Archives, he could make a lot of Archons, which would actually be decent here, as there's not that many EMPs available. Mothership gets a few shots off there. Time Warp comes in. Carriers throwing their interceptors forwards. Classics out of mineral bank for the most part. He's going to send a few probes up there to mine. He's got the bottom left mining a little bit. Pylons built all over the map. The amount of value Maru's getting just from killing all these buildings absolutely everywhere is insane. I mean, it might be full base trade. Full base trade. Yeah, you've got carriers. You can kill all the buildings. He's only got 3 Vikings. He can never kill all the cannon battery. You've warped in mass sentry as well, because why not? Dude, yeah, this should be a win. Classic should actually 2-0 Maru. As long as you stop these command centers escaping, I think Classic wins this. Don't lose a carrier. Classic! Classic! Okay, careful. Okay, he's got to catch these buildings with these carriers, man. The carriers need to fly south. You need to actually move command them as well. You got to move command. Yeah, okay. He's got it. He's going for the orbitals. No, you need to kill the buildings. Like, orbitals stops Maru from rebuilding, but the buildings, you want to stop them from escaping as well. I guess he just wants to get rid of the orbitals for now. Sentries are here. Maru's army's coming back. Uh-oh, I think you got to get out of here. You can't be fighting this, Classic. Classic's in trouble now. His sentries are going to have to go to the right, but that means his army's not there. He's going to use Time Warp on the ramp now, and he's going to group up and recall to the top right side. But that means now you're cornered. Maru sees you recall, man. He knows. Okay, well, I've cleared the bottom left. I've cleared the main. Yeah, immediately scans the top right. He sees what it is. The lack of Templar Archives is so annoying. Dark Shrine coming in right now. There are still 3 gateways up in this game. EMP's taking out all the energy off everything. The Vikings should be taken down pretty quickly, but there's just too many Marines and Ghosts. They're gunning down the Interceptors. The Interceptors die. The carriers are dead weights. The motherships, the carriers trying to pull back here to the cannons. But look at that. Maru says, you know what beats static defense? Nuclear launch detected. That's right. He's going to clear a ton of the cannon battery, and Classic knows if he goes forward, he'll be taking a bad fight. Maru's going to shove through. I cannot believe it. Maru was so screwed in this game, but there's 2 big errors that Classic's made. It's not knowing the top right, and it's moving his army into a corner there and getting it completely surrounded. Getting that army surrounded. It's the Tempest army is not an army that stands and swings with the opponent. It's an army that kicks at the opponent and retreats through storms and cannons and batteries. That's how that army is supposed to operate. Yeah, I mean, he can hunt down buildings for days here. Carrier's going to go in and try and take out this turret. Takes a fair bit of damage. Oof. Nexus in the top right will go down. Still 1 Nexus there. There is only 1 probe on the map, though. He's going to try and repower a gateway to make a Dark Templar, I guess. Looks like this carrier is going to get taken out by these Vikings, though. And that's going to be rough. The rest of the army does come forward, actually. Ooh-wee. But look at that. Marines and Ghosts going to bully him back. And I think that might be that. Killing these last Interceptors. Actually, there's so few Marines and Ghosts. There's so few Marines and Ghosts. DTs are coming in as well. But there's almost no minerals to rebuild all this. There's almost no minerals to rebuild the Interceptors. Oh my, the DTs are on top. There's enough energy for 1 EMP. He also has a scan. He has a scan! He gets a scan down! He's got a scan. He's got another EMP available. Motherships here as well. There's only 3 Marines, 3 Ghosts, and 1 Viking. I don't know why. I just thought there was more things in there that shot up. These are mostly Marauders. The carriers have actually been killing the Marines. Oh no! Wait, but there's only 8 Interceptors as well. Classic's out of money. Classic's gonna have 10 Interceptors, which is barely more than 1 full carrier worth of firepower. If the Ghosts, the Viking, and the Marines can gun those down, you can win, because Classic can't mine. He's got 1 probe. He could long distance mine, but that ain't gonna do much. These are Maru's buildings. He's floating away. He's got a starport there, a few buildings here. These buildings flying away. The carriers and the mothership are hunting them down. What is this game? Maru is such a wizard to still be alive in this game, guys. Oh, there's still a DT alive as well. Yeah, if he gets rid of the Ghosts, then the DT becomes very, very big. That's a big if, though. Not many buildings left for Protoss, and no minerals to rebuild them. Maru's going to clear the main, of course. Both players have been revealed, guys. Classic can see where Maru's buildings are. Maru can see where Classic's buildings are. And you can even target them on high ground. This is if you don't have a Nexus or a command center for a certain amount of time, you get revealed. If you build a new one, it will hide your structures again. Stops people from hiding in the corners and wasting time when they are otherwise pretty much dead. Hunting down another barracks here. Did he ever get Neo Steel? He never did. Never got the building armor upgrade. So it's still slowly killing these. Oh, he's going to recall down here. He sees the Terran army split up and he's going to jump on him. He's going to jump on him. Mothership recalls. Can he trap these units? Oh, the boost is going to run out. Can the carriers launch? Can he launch? He's in range. I think he's in range. Oh, but it's an empty medevac only. It's only an empty medevac. Once they launch the Interceptors, they have 12 leash range, guys. So carriers may only have 8 launch range, but their leash range is insane. So once the Interceptors get out, they are in a good spot. Now look at this Maru. He knows these are the last buildings. So he's just going to stim in from both sides, ignore the air units and go for it. And that'll get it done. That'll get it done. Ignores the air units, clicks the pylons. And that is Classic defeated. Maru wins the game. A game he had no business winning. That is actually insane. All right, guys. Well, Classic now in the bottom left side of the map. Maru narrowly escaping death there. It wasn't even a hidden base. It was just a base that Classic did not check for. He just assumed Maru wouldn't be on that base so early. And gets caught out by it. Gets his own army cornered as well. There was a point where he had 8,000 minerals. And could have built a lot more cannons spread across the middle of that map. And you really need to in games like that. You really need to just keep committing to the entrenchment. If you're on 85 workers and you're ruining the Terran's economy, they will end up with a much bigger economy than you. The last thing you ever want to do is shove your army up into a corner and get it surrounded by the opponent. And unfortunately, Classic, no doubt just lacking experience with the style. On that map, I think that build, if the Terran is turtling up a bit, if you have like a good early game, I think it's, I would go so far as to say it's almost a free win. It's so good for that map, being able to build the cannons across that gap from their middle base. It's just an insane advantage on that map. But once again, Maru shows he's a wizard, narrowly escapes death, and my strategy still has a 0% win rate. GG! Probe's going to be harassing now. This is only a best of 3, guys, as this is one of the opening matches here in the group stage. Group stages, I think it's round robin. I believe. I'm not sure if it's round robin, but I know it's like best of 3s, and I think it's best of 5s if players are in danger of getting eliminated at different points. But even if you win this match, you could still end up in an elimination match later. I'm going to be casting them on my YouTube in no particular order, guys, just whatever the highlight matches are people recommended to me. I can now see why people recommended that match to me. A lot of people said, oh, you got to cast that one. Now I understand why. But Maru swats it away. Very well done. Oh, by the way, correction, it's 14 leash range for the carrier, apparently. Even further than a siege tank shoots, guys. So once the interceptors are launched, it's actually very far in StarCraft 2. I always misquote that range, because to me, 12 sounds insanely far, but apparently it's 14. It's crazy, man. Right, command center there. So this is going to be Barracks Factory, Reaper into Reactor. Be a Cyclone, no doubt. Adept shades past, Reaper sees it, Adept quickly turns around. Probes, better get out of there. So Pig, if you attack something at 8 range, can you redirect the interceptors to something farther? Yes, 100%. That's how it works. And once they're launched, you can just keep changing targets to anything within 14 range. It's insane. That's why fighting carriers, if carriers get on top of your production, it's a nightmare because they always have a building they can be attacking. At no point will the interceptors ever return to the carrier. So they literally can just be attacking a command center. Your Vikings fly in from over here and all the interceptors just like launch onto your Vikings well before you're even in range of the carriers. Actually, someone says, no, actually, it's 12 range. It is 12. Okay. So who said 14? Archon. Archon? Did you correct me without looking it up? Mate, I'm going with the guy that looked it up. Morphos's Wikipedia says range is 12. Unless you're a map maker who's looking in the editor. Chat lying to me again, man. Remember, guys, the most confident people who are the quickest to answer aren't always the ones with the correct answers. I looked it up as well, but it was on Blizzard forums and Unit Tester. Oh. I mean, you can't see the stats in Unit Tester, can you? I guess if you siege a tank next to it, you can kind of compare that. Battle.net forums, I would never trust. Battle.net forums is basically where intelligence goes to die. Like, the reason you would communicate on the Battle.net forums is if you want to basically have your conversations have the level of, like, I don't know. It's just so, I don't even know, man. I don't want to be rude, but it's just schizophrenic. It's just like super deluded paranoid schizophrenia is how I would describe 90% of the conversation on the Battle.net forums. Because Blizzard doesn't want to moderate their forums too hard, so they just kind of mostly ignore it. And it's just a cesspool. Always has been. Banshee comes in with Cloak. Beautiful surprise for Maru. Classic's got to be kicking himself for this, man. Didn't see this coming. Luckily for him, Maru's assuming there's an observer with these stalkers, even though there isn't. Now an observer pops out. It's not even there in time yet, though. Another Banshee is at home. Only 3 probes. Honestly, that could have been much worse. Classic handled that quite well. Engineering bays on the way, as well as 3 more barracks. Banshee's there. Chat says, I also enjoy asking public chat on Battle.net for advice. They always have great opinions. Oh, yeah, true. And I always tell the story of watching them. Oh, my lord. Nice catch. Very good for Classic. Yeah. I mean, I once was in the general chat and I came across them making a racial tier list. And I was like, yeah, I'm out. There's a different account. My main account's left the general chat years ago. Logged into a different one that was still in the general chat. And I was like, oh, my lord. I'm out of here. It somehow got worse. Three barracks factory starport. I believe they were also making the tier list based on how effective those people would be at doing unpaid work. Let's put it that way, to avoid demonetization. It was pretty gross. I was like, these guys are just such weird. I get they're just trying to say the most offensive thing they can, but I'm still just like, this is such weird behavior in a friggin' video game forum, man. The general chat of random video games has some of the strangest people in it you'll ever find. Because like most people who like a game find communities within that game to talk about. It's the guys who go to like the most public, unmoderated, generic version of it that always end up being like just having the weirdest discussions. They're like, people have to interact with me here. In any other community, I get banned, but here, they don't ban people for being weirdos. Guys, third command center is halfway done. Maru's pushing out. Stalkers are in a good position, but this is a pretty scary push. Storm's not quite ready, so these Stalkers buying time is excellent. He gets a Marauder. Oh, what are we doing? Bro. Classic. You do not want to lose these Stalkers, my friend. Concussive is not done, thankfully. And he will not lose any. Really well done. Banshee comes back in, gets 3 more probes. But just 1 Stalker and Observer will be left defending that for the rest of this game. Oh, he could get the Cyclone through the fog. But he baits another Stim, which is not bad. Maru still pursuing him. Classic. Happy to do a little bit of a dance here. Doesn't quite get the Cyclone, unfortunately. Still feels like he's baited out a lot of response here from Maru. And up 10 probes, not too bad. Maru sees the High Templar, drops a Ghost Academy. Turns his army around. He says, I don't want to fight into Mass Zealot Storm. Let's run away. That's exactly the correct call. First Forge only going down at almost 8 minutes. That's not a good sign. I think generally, if you open Storm and you got upgrades this late, you want to go second Robo Bay right now. Like you've got the gas bank. If you can get up Colossus and Storm quickly enough, it'll make up for how delayed your upgrades are. There's the Robo Bay we talked about. I was thinking about taking a 4th on this left side. Nice move. Yeah, if you delay your upgrades a lot, but you have 2 forms of splash damage, usually you can get through the mid-game just fine. Zealot Stalker coming forwards. Biotank moving around. Prism going in towards the main base. Oh, actually, no, this is a Storm drop, by the way. Stalkers grab themselves a Marauder. You got to be careful. These Storms zone. They don't really kill anything on their own. Classic is keeping him pinned for now. Still no second Robo. And finally, the armor does kick up. Not bad, not bad. He's going to start probing as Classic. Needs to transfer from his main over to this 4th as well. Should always grab 8 of these workers here. Don't just transfer based off the Classic. Guys, Classic is an old school gamer who knows the timings. He knows that at 8.5 minutes, half your mineral patches disappear. Instead, he just did the number transfer. Guess what? These 2 guys are about to mine that out. He should have just transferred them straight away. It's crazy to me that there's old man gamers who I was competing against 13 years ago who are they've forgotten. There's like forgotten knowledge in StarCraft these days. I'm like, mate, you used to do this correctly. I learnt this off guys like you. We do have confirmation from a bunch of people tested it in chat, guys. Carriers have a leash range of 12. Still very effective. Thank you for the clarification. No, I appreciate it. No problem. I know you guys weren't trying to spread misinformation. Thanks for looking it up, though. Second Robo coming in. Colossus as well. Maru also does the half-assed transfer, and then 6 seconds later, his mineral patches run out, and he's oversaturated. This is, I don't know if there's any pro who does this correctly anymore. And then he comes back and he's like, oh, I do have too many. Goes and builds turrets. Okay, now he transfers down to 8 once those turret builders go elsewhere. 6 more gateways coming in. That's going to be 14 Immortals building. Only 2 Colossus into Immortal. That's really good, because then if your opponent overcommits to Vikings, you aren't overcommitted to Colossus. It's really amazing. Problem, there's only 3 Vikings. So at this moment, if Maru realizes that there's Immortals coming out this early, he might cut Viking production altogether and be totally fine. I do think 2 Colossus into Immortals and Disruptors, though, never a bad idea. Maru's going to move forward for this expansion. Classic has a very high worker count. His army's looking a little sparse. There's not many Zealots here because they're all on that right side. He wants to get Maru's attention here. Land some good storms. Use some Colossus. Oh, good storm. Gets a few SCVs. Oh, a lot of SCVs, in fact. 7 workers going down. He's going to try and send these Zealots in on the right side, guys. You can see those Zealots running in on the right side now. Oh, Widowmine does get a good juicy hit, but look at that. Too well defended is Maru. Way too well defended. 2-2 upgrades also ahead. Maru's got 2 more commands in his building. The Observer does see everything. He's trying to move in and out here. Classic trying to find weakness. Is this a map you could do the same cannon battery strat? 100%, guys. Here's not bad. Behind the grass and work your way forward. It's not terrible, but Maru's not behind this game. Maru's not Omega Turtled. Like, yes, he's defensive, but he's got a big scary bio army. This is not the sort of game where Classic can do the strategy from the last one. He could go Disruptors, he could go DTs, he could try to squeeze Tempest in. I wouldn't really advise it in this scenario. I've seen Max pull it off with a pure mobile, no static defense, no cannons on the front version. Really hard to pull off. 9 more gateways at building. Classic's just going to stick to the 23 Warp Gate. Just Colossus, Immortal, Stalker, Zealot. A few High Templars sprinkled in is always nice. I do hope he replaces these. One thing I've been critical of Classic for in the past is if he loses these early High Templar, he often doesn't replace them in the late game. And I don't think you need a ton of them in your army, but definitely always having a few in reserve is really nice. Maru taking his time. Remember, he's made some mistakes recently with trying to take too many expansions at once and giving his opponents angles. Here comes the storm drop. It does get a massive storms! Massive storms for Classic! Wow! Blast through the Medivacs and Vikings. If you can click that command center, that would be absolutely excellent. But the mass repair is good. Maru saves the command center with the mass repair. What a move. And there's no High Templar in reserve here, so the whole army does get gunned down. That save on the command center baited Classic into staying way too long. Now the Zealots running the right side as Maru moves into the middle, but oof, that is a Zealot reinforce, of course. 23 Warp Gates are up, gets a few SCVs. This is a really good trade. Any buildings he can kill, also very effective. And now double Disruptors to follow up. I think that was a pretty, like that's double Storm and all the Vikings and Medivacs did so much damage, man. Even stopping to repair these units is going to be expensive, and I think he's doing that now. You can see there's a couple of SCVs that are there, but I don't know if they're on auto repair right now. Okay, it looks like he's moving a few SCVs over. They are going to start repairing. The bio is heavily wounded. There's only 4 Medivacs alive. He's going to lead with a storm. First thing you're going to see is this High Templar plonking a big storm on your face. Oh, very nice. Another one gets really deep, even on the siege tank. One of the SCVs would be lovely. He does have the energy just now. The planetary goes down, and he can easily cover his retreat with a storm right here. Very well played, guys. I think Classic might be wearing Maru down here on Tourmaline. He's going up another gateway on the left side. He's already got a Nexus on the right. Starting to mine these forward bases out is always crucial to remove any future resources Maru might be taking later on in the game. Zealot, Stalker, Immortal, Archon. Well, no, actual Immortals now. Ooh, he's going too deep. He's going too deep. There's no way this is a good idea for Classic unless it's all about surprising so the Zealots can do damage, and indeed it is. A little slow to get on the worker line there. His Disruptors go way too far forward, though. A little sloppy there. Ooh, Zealots going in and out very derpily. A bit of misclicking here for Classic. Of course, a Prism getting in would be great, but notice 2 turrets on the left, 4 on the right. Really good preparation. So your Prisms have to come through this angle, which I think he's well set up to do. I do want to see 2 more robos. I think 2 robos is kind of criminal at this stage. I think you should have 4 if you're going to be committing. But Blink Dark Templar, I like that. You see a bit of smoke coming out there of the eyeballs of these Dark Templar masks on the shrine. This could get denied. Zealot Stalker's going to come forward. Blink on it, maybe. Here we go. Prism flies through the turrets. One of them goes down. Does unload 2 Zealots before it goes. He's going to get in the back of the main base. As the units go down. Oh, the Stalker's killing the orbital would be big. He could just jump on the army as well, but he's going to run away here, realizing this isn't quite working out the way he'd intended. A few more Zealots do get into the main base. He's going to try and take out the Fusion Core, but Caduceus finishes just in time. That is a crucial late game upgrade. It doubles medevac energy regeneration. It is an incredibly valuable upgrade. 17 workers have gone down. The Zealot in the natural with 7 kills. And here we go, another big attack on the front. Not really finding what he wanted though. Disruptor, not able to land either. 2 more prisms building. Blink DT's on the way. What's the income? 3k minerals. Classic's got to be careful to manage his income correctly. Okay, yeah, he's done almost perfectly. He just needs to transfer workers back onto this base when it's up. Maybe get some in the corner. Massive Zealot warping in the main. Wow, that's going to be excellent. Oh, the prism does get focused down. 1 DT finishes warping in, but the rest does not. Disruptors going forward, not really finding the mark just yet. Storms could be big, though. Feedbacks and Storms landing nicely. A Ghost goes down. Very well played. There's still a Zealot and a DT in the main. They kill a Ghost, picking off a few of these units bit by bit, and Maru really struggling. Now, you can't let Maru take this top left base. I think that's the easy path there. I also think Colossus will be really good if he can get rid of these Vikings. I mean, right now, I feel like you should have 4 robos, and you just want to create enough chaos. Catch these Vikings out. If you kill the Vikings, you hard swap Colossus, and you probably win the game. But right now, Maru has a big scary army. He's looking for a surround. The Vikings are so exposed, but he doesn't quite see them. Oh, if he blinked on those, that would have been epic. Prisms get inside the main, but he's not maxed out. Oh, I mean, he is maxed out. Oh, he gets a nice Storm, though. Wow, great Storm, dude. Classic pulling out all the tricks here, man. Really nice moves. The Stalkers could just target the command center, and of course he will. Zealot, Archon, Disruptor, Stalker just tearing it up. The Disruptors can keep zoning here. Beautiful moves there for Classic. But Maru has a giant army. He has a 50 army supply lead. There's still only 2 Colossus. 2 Robos, sorry. They're very exposed. You want Robos in the back of your base because these are the first thing Maru's going to pounce on if he kills your army on such a small map. Maru's coming forward. I don't think he can fight this just yet, though. Disruptors keeping it at bay for now. Zealot drop goes to the right. Vikings force it back. And he does try to move around. But look at this. If he lands, if you could kill these, that'd be great. Actually, that's huge. He knows killing these Vikings is massive. We want to see those Colossus restart. He kills a bunch. 4 Vikings go down to that. And look at this. He could drop Zealots on this base as well. Maru does not have much income. And this is such a huge moment. You can just shove the middle now as Classic. You can absolutely shove this middle base. Target the orbital down. The Disruptors are going to throw some big balls forward, taking out the tanks. He doesn't quite get the command center. And Maru is on the other side of the map. Zealots tearing up the worker line. Vikings killing this base. There's still High Templar here, though. You got to watch out for these High Templar. The recall is ready. And Classic is playing the best StarCraft I've seen from him in a long time. Don't get me wrong. Maru's stuck in a corner. Protoss has map control, but so many Protoss players cannot finish from these scenarios. Classic is pulling out all the stops to try and get these trades off. And this is an excellent chase. He just needs to keep chasing this army. He's a little fearful of chasing too far, and we can see why, I guess. Good Storm. Great Storm, even. And the army's going to rotate. Disruptor does get caught in the middle, but for how long? Throws a Disruptor there. Classic being a little pedantic. He should have just blinked on that drop and shut it down, I believe. But look at this. Maru's wrapping around. Maru's wrapping around! He's setting up a 270! He's got a 270 coming in, but wait! Classic! The Hunter becomes the Hunted! He comes in with his own Zealot High Templar ambush, takes out the northern flank before Maru can close the trap! Wow! Disruptors landing as well now, covering. Maru's flank is coming in too late, but wait, Maru retreated on the right side really well. Disruptors landing! Oh my god! Cry havoc and let loose the balls of war! And indeed they do. Mass Zealot reinforce. Energy recharge on the High Templar. The Zealots are there. The Storms are going to buy an excellent amount of time. He's building Colossus, but only 2 at a time. As I said, you should have 4 Robos. Actually, he's got a third. He's got a third Robo in the back of the natural in a slightly more protected position. But like I said, if you lose these Robos, you can't spend your bank. And this is why I love the Robos being in the back of the main. I don't know, man. I'm so worried that Classic is somehow going to lose from what should be a completely unlosable position. He played such a good series, but he managed to lose with the perfect strategy, but lacking execution in Game 2. In Game 3, he has had perfect execution with a really elegant set of storm usage, storm drops and all the like. The Colossus are getting overrun. That Colossus needs to get out of there. The Colossus is going to do so much with those Zealots and Archon in front of it. What a brilliant pullback here. Can the Stalkers save the Colossus from the Viking? Yes, they can. And that should be it. The Zealots are tearing up Maru's economy. He can't take it out. Right, finally gets one Colossus. A new one pops. And Classic holds strong. Classic defeating Maru in an epic 2-1. What a fantastic series. GG, well played.